Welcome to tonight's On the Edge with me, Theo Chalmers. Tonight's show is 2 hours long and live, so if you have any questions for my guest during the show, text them to 87778 with the word EDGE, a space, and then your name, location and your message, and we'll try to pick up on any that really hit the mark. They're all charged at standard rate, so why not get ready to text? Tonight's show marks something of a milestone here at Edge Media, Controversial TV. It will be my 74th show since I started presenting it on October the 2nd, 2008. But sadly, and much more importantly, it will also be the last ever live show broadcast on this channel. Unless, that is, those who are working hard to save it really can. In any event, it should be running repeats of existing catalogue until the end of June, and then watch this space or check out edgemediatv.com. Having given you that sad news, I'm delighted that tonight we are going out on a major high. I'll be talking with a man who has for 20 years now bared his soul and everything else in his search for who he truly is and what his place is in our, or as, the infinite consciousness. On his journey, he has also discovered that our world and the humans in it, namely you and me, are in the very gravest danger, a danger which is now apparently coming to its final apocalyptic stages at the end of thousands of years of planning and deception. A danger so terrible that many recoil even from hearing about it, or close their minds to it, or even accuse my guest of being totally insane so that they do not have to consider the awful possibility that perhaps what he says in his many books is true, as though that could stop him. He has just sold out the first of 2 8-hour shows at Brixton Academy, and his new book, Human Race, Get Off Your Knees, The Lion Sleeps No More, has just been released. And what a read it is. If you haven't guessed yet who my guest is tonight, he is the fearless, the insightful, the visionary, the extraordinary spirit of the age, David ICKE. What a show we've got tonight. David,
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead, Theo.
Was that a bit of a build-up?
Oh, it was, yeah. It's because the showing more than kind of you said was on the front of that book, I Am Me, I Am Free.
Yes.
And when I was naked on the front, and as someone said, it was much ado about nothing, you know. But yeah, I mean, we've got these full body scanners now,
at the airport,
showing
yes.
people naked at the airport, and I said at Brixton, they want to see my body, serves them right, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. So that's great that it's got to 20 years, and it's going to get to a lot more. You
describe the journey in this book. I mean, it's an incredibly dense read. It's nearly 700 pages altogether, isn't it? I have actually read every word, and a lot of it is where you got to where you are now, which is in itself an incredible journey, and how you've built layer upon layer of learning and knowledge of what's going on experientially and through, research over those 20 years.
Yeah, it was kind of funny when I was writing it 20 years after I consciously started the journey, and I remembered lots of things that I'd forgotten, really. And key to everything that I've done in the last 2 decades, right up to now, was something that I was told in 1990. I went to see a psychic because no other reason than for a year I'd felt like there was a presence in the room when I was in a room alone. I wasn't alone. And this got more and more powerful, more and more tangible, to the point where, long story short, I went to see a psychic. Didn't tell her what was going on. I said I wanted hands-on healing for my arthritis, which was true, but the real reason I went was, will she pick it up? Mm-hmm. And a series of things started happening on the 3rd visit to her. Well, when I am in a point in my life where I'm presenting the sport, and I'm national spokesman for the Green Party.
You're presenting Grandstand, weren't you?
Yeah,
on
all
BBC
that
television.
Stuff. Yeah, and then I'm lying on this bench, having the hands-on healing, and suddenly she said, my God, this is powerful. I've got to close my eyes for this one. And, of course, I'm all new to this at the time, and I'm thinking, what the heck's going on? And then she started giving me these messages from these figures she was seeing in her psyche, that I was going to go out on a world stage and reveal great secrets, and basically everything that was said that day in 1990 has happened or is happening. The reason I mention that is because there was one specific, quote, message that has really been the foundation of everything I've done. And it was, he will say things and wonder where they came from. They will be our words. And sometimes we will put knowledge into his mind. Sometimes he will be led to knowledge. There was another one later connected to that, which said, no need for arduous searching. It was all arranged, in effect, a long time ago. All you need to do is follow the clues. And those few words, Theo, absolutely encompass the way I've lived my life since 1990. The way the sequence goes, and you quite rightly say in the introduction, it's been layered, because if you're hit with anything like the big picture in one go, I mean, your brain goes, excuse me, can't compute, I'm going to get my turquoise shell suit on. Right? Which is what happened to me at that yes, time, 20 years ago. I was hit by so much information. It was like pressing too many keys on the computer, it froze. But what's happened is it's gone in layers. The first few years were about the way that a network of families, interbreeding families, control the banking system, engineer wars, use techniques that I've talked about, like problem, reaction, solution, create the problem, then offer the solution, and the totalitarian tiptoe, where you're going from A to Z, but you don't tell people that, but you go in little steps, each one projected as unconnected to all the others.
Like the EU, for instance.
Yeah, so you go down the road to where you're going, and always were going, but the people don't realise that's where you're going because you're taking them there in steps. Bigger steps you can get away with, but not big enough for people to go, hold on a second, what's going on? Because the change is so great. So that was all the whole first few years, and then it started going into this whole reptilian area, and then it went into the nature of reality, by far the most important, because without understanding at least the themes of this reality, what it is,